Well, a lot of people want to replace the cops with something. Like they think we just need to get rid of them and start over. Or
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna talk with our officer in just a little bit here, and there was a lot of good nuance and complexity that he brought out of this discussion.
Yeah,
But
he opened my eyes on a couple things because there's the joke about social workers taking over for cops, and there's some legitimacy to that because cops are basically told to do a lot of stuff that cops weren't really trained to do.
Yeah, and so here's the problem, I think, is that the left has some legitimate grievances against things. Like they recognize some injustices. Come on. They recognize some legit injustices that we can agree with them on, like police brutality is bad. Mm-hmm. We can all kind of say, oh, yeah, sure. And then they make up these slogans.
That doesn't sound sincere at all.
Oh, sure, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And then they make up these slogans, right? Like,
yeah, the slogans ruin everything.
That's what ruins it, because then they go, defund the police.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I was on board.
Yeah, until you got that. We have to be so black and white on everything.
Just, come on. And, it's the same thing with the Kavanaugh allegations and stuff, where they didn't
they'll try to throw everything into everything. Like
believe all women.
Yeah, believe every single woman. Or
but then they spread it out. Believe oppressed people.
And then if you go on the website, it's like, and then you find out like abortion's in there. Everything's in there.
Yeah.
These 3 words encapsulate the entire platform of like the furthest left people.
Yeah, because you can't just agree with them that there's a grievance and then discuss what the best option is. You have to agree with...
If you want to discuss things, you are racist, sir.
You have to agree with, like, Marxism.
Right.
Like, honestly, there's police brutality, so communism.
Right.
And if you don't buy that whole package, you're a racist.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah, it does feel that way. If you're listening and you're from the left, just do some work on that.
So stop it.
Knock it off.
Just knock it off.
Marianne Williamson had some words.
Are these words?
She was a candidate. She was a crystals and essential oils candidate for the Democrat Party.
This is more like slam poetry than...
Is it? You want to read it?
I'm all for disbanding police departments. Sorry, we need to be more Marianne Williamson. I'm all for disbanding police departments as they now exist, but we need to remember a piece of history. When the U.S. invaded Iraq, we disbanded their army, and those former army forces created ISIS. The last thing we need is thousands of angry ex-cops forming a militia of their own.
That voice.
I don't know. But it was funny because I'm like, okay, yeah, U.S. invaded Iraq. And this is true. You go into places and we leave these voids and then terrorists come up. And then she's like, if you disband police, then they're going to form a militia.
They're going to become United States ISIS?
USISIS.
How would that work?
I was just like, wait, what? I'm still trying to work out like what angle to take on that. I don't know.
So like they're all in the police station. They all get kicked out. So then they're all like, what are they doing? They're camping out in the woods or something. And they're just all starting to bubble over and rage. Like, they fired us all. Firing their guns in the air.
I'll show them to fire
like the captain's up front. And he's like, they didn't appreciate all the work we did for you guys, for this country. We all got guns. They don't. We got handcuffs. They don't. We got armored cars. They don't.
Let's go, boys.
It's time to take over this country. We don't need a president. We don't need authority. We're the authority. We'll cut some heads off. Everybody start fashioning machetes out of stuff.
Yeah, there's just
bones.
There's such a weird ignorance between like the situation over there and this situation. Like has nothing to do with it.
And it's a weird view of cops too. Like that's what they would do, right? Like that they would form ISIS. Like, what do you think they're really thinking? I think that deep down inside of every cop is an ISIS member.
And I like how, unlike a lot of people on the left, she's against disbanding the police.
Like, that's interesting.
She's trying to. He's like,
she's trying to.
Hey guys, we need to not disband the police because they'll form ISIS. Yeah. Like the reasoning is just.
There's some people on the left. It scares me, but I think they would actually prefer ISIS to the police, just because they're a little more multicultural.
Yeah, you wouldn't really be able to criticize them without being.
Yeah, at least it's a little more exotic and like,
something.
Open-minded than having all these white cops and stuff with all the blue and red and white and stuff.
Yeah. So the defund the police thing is interesting. Abolish the police, all this stuff. I mean, I think we can all agree maybe there's a lot of police departments that need to be rebuilt, ones
that need like scaffolding and shiplap.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And but we'll talk about that with our guest.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty informative. We had a good time with Detective Dan.
My favorite thing was the Minneapolis mayor when he went into that crowd of protesters.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Are you going to abolish the police right now?" And he's like, "Oh, I can't really do that."
He's surrounded. I actually felt sorry. I've kind of not liked him through a lot of times I've seen him. He's very social justice, very posing selfies. You know, I'm with you guys. He's the guy to let the police station burn, right?
Yeah, he's like Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, he's very Trudeauian. So
he's in this thing, and
it looks like he's like 12 years old.
Oh, he looks like Ben from Parks and Recreation, like who was the mayor of a town when he was 18 or something. Like just, and it's so great because he's not even wearing like a dress shirt or he's like in
in his t-shirt,
and he's just like, it's like he was trying to be one of them or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna hang out with you guys and we're gonna rap about this and. And they're like, and then he's like, I can't really disband the police department.
Yeah, they're putting because they want him to make a statement right there. He's in the middle of a mob,
and they're just saying, "Go home," and shame. And he just quietly head down, like Arrested Development, Charlie Brown walk,
Curb Your Enthusiasm all the way.
Awkward and like,
I don't know.
And he just walks.
Just walks out of there.
It is one of the most awkward things I've ever seen in my life.